Indian Railways is a mammoth organization. It is the fourth largest network in the world. It has 2.3 crore passengers every day and 3.2 million goods traffic every day, million tons of traffic every day. But even then, railways are not there is a perception that Indian Railways is the dominant mode of transport. It was so in 1950. 1950, there were 89% of the goods traffic was in railways. Only 11% was on the road. Now it has come down to 30%. And passenger segment, 74.3% of the passengers were in the country on railways. Now it has come down to 12.9%. So you can understand the traffic has gone to road. This is because of the policy pursued by the successive governments, starving the railways of investment. So the argument placed for private, not efficiency or inefficiency. The argument placed by the government and successive governments is that necessary investments are not forthcoming. So in this respect, I would like to draw your kind attention to the perspective of railway privatization in the past and now. Earlier, before 1924, railways were constructed, operated, and maintained mostly by private. Government also invested in railways and constructed, operated, and maintained. By 1924, there were large number of government-owned railways but managed by private. Also, there were private managed railways, private owned and managed railways. By 1924 and after that, the British government felt that expansion of rail network was not possible with the private, because private did not come forth for investing in railways. They did not want to expand the railway network. Even though the British government assured them 5% returns, they did not come forth. They only inflated the investment and got the benefit of returns. So government decided. There was also large amount of opinion in the media in the country. Therefore, it was started privatizing Indian Railways. Between 1924 and 1944, Indian Railways, all the railways, either owned by private or owned by government but managed by railway, all were brought under the government ownership. So this is the history of privatization in Indian Railways, nationalization in this Indian Railways. After, during independence struggle, industrialists of this country wanted that railways should be with the government. So in 1948, Jawaharlal Nehru announced industrial policy in which he said 3 industries will remain with the government. One is railways, defense, and atomic energy. And railway transport was allowed to be in railway, a government. After that, in 1956, an industrial policy statement was issued by the government of India, Jawaharlal Nehru government. That policy statement was considered economic constitution of India. In that, the 17 industries were reserved for public sector and government. After that, in 1991, when the neoliberal policies were introduced, there was a policy statement by the Congress government. So their policy statement stated that only 8 industries out of the 17 are to be reserved for public. All the other 9 will be de-reserved for private. After that, in 1999, when BJP was there, Vajpayee government was there, they retained this policy statement for 8 industries, but categorized the industries as strategy and strategic and non-strategic. In 1991 policy, railway transport was one among the 8 industries. In 1999, strategy and non-strategic industries were separated, it was identified, and one of the strategic industries is railway transport. Now, after that, in 2009, UPA government came to power. So, in the meanwhile, during NDA government, Vajpayee government, they opened starting outsourcing all railway activities. In 2009, UPA government published a position paper on Indian Railways, in which they stated that railway transport they accepted 8 industries should be with the railways government, but the railway transport means railway operation, not railway construction, maintenance, design, etc. So the finance, design, construction, maintenance can go to private. That was the clarification given by the UPA-2 government in 2009 in its position paper on Indian Railways. So during this period, they started running. So operation only should remain with the railways. Rest all activities can be outsourced. The outsourcing started, and also public-private partnership started. There was Container Corporation. Container Corporation allowed, because of that, 15 trains for Container Corporation is the railways public sector company. It allowed 15 operators, private operators, to run the container trains in Indian Railways. But operation will only with the railways. So driver's guard will be with the railways. All other will be with them. And also 9 private lines were laid. One of them is Pipavav Kutch Railway Company, Adani's Kutch Railway Company. They are port connectivity lines. So what happened? These 9 railways, gauge conversion was introduced, and the lines were handed out to private. It is in the PPP, but operation is with the railways. Then, see, this is how the privatization policy was going on. By that, by 2014, 7.5 lakh contract workers, outsourced employees have come in railways because of this outsourcing. So now, 2014, when BJP came, it issued a policy statement that that policy statement stated that railway transport in 10 areas will be opened for construction, maintenance, also operation. So first time BJP government, Mr. Modi's government, started telling operation also will go to private. So 10 areas. But Railway Board chairman said 10 areas means all activities in Indian Railways. So all were about to be privatized and open for domestic and foreign industrialists. Now, 2014, this policy was announced by the government. But in 2014, they appointed Vivek Dev Rai Committee. Vivek Dev Rai Committee So hitherto railway operation was told, but no train operations were handed over to private. But uh, other activities were open for private. But what happened? Vivek Dev Rai committee it was appointed for resource mobilization, to give ways and means for resource mobilization, because by that time railway had been in a problem, starved, investments starved. They tried because government did not invest and to the extent needed. And what happened? The they told private can come and lay rails and run trains, but no private came forth to run the railways. From Mamata Banerjee to Lalu Prasad, all the railway ministers tried their level best to bring in PPP in the construction, operation and maintenance, but nobody came forward. Even BJP government offered 80% of the revenue to be borne by the government if there is loss. But even then, no private came forward to lay rails and operate trains. Then, so they appointed this resource mobilization, a committee by name Vivek Dev Rai. The Vivek Dev Rai, instead of giving ways and means for resource mobilization, he recommended closure of all ongoing projects. Even if 50% of expenditure has been incurred, that project also should be closed. The government support to the railway should be stopped. Railway minister should be abolished. Railway board should be abolished. And railway budget should be merged with the general budget. And he also recommended the train operations, that passenger trains and goods trains should be opened for private. Vivek Dev Rai recommended that. For that, he recommended that a rail development authority should be appointed after amending the Railway Act. But so that the rail development regulator will regulate fare, timetable, etc., competition, etc., it will regulate. That was the idea given by Vivek Dev Rai. But what happened after the Vivek Dev Rai without a regulatory authority, appointing regulatory authority, they merged the railway budget with the general budget. We have lost wealth of information available in the railway budget. Now, see, the railway, actually, railway in this juncture is in a very pathetic situation. It is starved of investment. Large derailments took place. For example, railway track has 4,500 kilometers of track become due for renewal every year. But the railways could spend only 2,000 for renew only 2,000 kilometers. In the same way, 200 station signals are becoming overdue for renewal, but it was not allowed. Only 100 stations were renewed. So there was huge arrears of renewal of bridges, track, etc. That now, if you see, now it is 10,000 kilometers of track is to be renewed. The arrears is there. So this is the system. And for many derailments took place because of that. Rail Samrakshana Kosh was created, a rail safety fund. 1 lakh crore was to be invested. Every year 20,000 crores will be invested, they told. But actually, even 16,000 crores was not given. So allocation for important renewal of existing assets was not done. So because of that, private also doesn't come forth. The government also does not allow support. Government support is not enough. So in this situation, railways are in a very bad shape. expansion is not possible, uh, capacity augmentation is not possible. Many committees, UPA government appointed a committee, the NDTPC. That committee told 35 lakhs crores should be spent in 12 years. That was not taken, that could not be taken off. And after the BJP government came, they told in 5 years they wound up planning commission. They told 8.56 crores per lakh crores should be spent. That plan also wound up, and now they have brought in national in the last budget. The finance minister told she is going to. They have understood that the investment is needed to railways. So this she told 50 lakhs crores will be implemented, spent in 12 years time in railways. But that means in 6 years time, 25 lakhs has to be spent. But in this year, they last August 15, Prime Minister announced that infrastructure pipeline of 102 lakh crore will be invested, out of which 13.69 crore will come for railways for 6 years. So, Madam Finance Minister told 25 lakh crore for 6 years. Now they have reduced it to 13.69 lakh crores. And that also for the 1920, according to the infrastructure pipeline, 87% amount should come from government, budgetary support. But what happened? They gave only 37,000 crores. 1,16,000 crores should have been invested as per this infrastructure pipeline. The current year, 2,22,000 crores should have been given by the central government, but they gave only 46,000 crores. So what happens? The present situation scenario is the starvation of investment. They told many times, they repeated that we will improve the so the speed of the trains. That is, now goods train speed is average speed is 25 kilometers per hour. Passenger average speed is 50 kilometers per hour. So they said this goods train will be stepped up to 50 kilometers, and passenger trains will be stepped up to 80 kilometers. Whereas in China, goods trains are running 200 kilometers per hour. Passenger trains are running up from 300 to 500 kilometers, because they invest, government invest large amount of money in railways. Even economic survey says investment in railways, see, if 1 rupee is invested in railways, it generates 5 rupee in the economy. But all talks are there big, but no action. So that is why the present situation is proper. There is no proper terminal. Every line is the capacity is very much occupancy is 150%, 100% to 150%. 60% of the track is 150% occupation rate is there. So introducing a train, a private train in this is very, very difficult. Now actually the dedicated freight corridor, two eastern and western dedicated corridors were to be laid from 2006. No private came forward. So railway, from its sources and loan, they had to invest in the track, dedicated freight corridor. Now what they say, dedicated private train of this Devrai says private fellows should be allowed to run their trains even in the dedicated freight corridor. So now this after the Vivek Devrai committee recommendations were there, all these. Now in 2019, up to 19, railway budget was merged. That was the only action they took. And 2019, 19/6/2019, after the Modi 2.0, they announced an 100 days action plan. 100 days action plan. So 100 days action plan included passenger trains to be given to private. Tejas trains to be given to IRCTC in the Delhi Lucknow section. Then it was given. They told Delhi, Mumbai, Delhi, Howrah dedicated freight corridor lines will be completed by 23, 21, 21, 22. By that time, the in the existing track, whatever goods trains are running will be shifted to that track. So the freed capacity will be utilized for private operation. Now, private train operations. That is why from 2014 onwards, Railway Ministry has adopted a clear policy that no new regular trains will be introduced. Because if a new regular train is introduced, then private trains cannot run in that capacity. So, what happened? The dedicated freight corridor will come by 23-24. Now, they said in the action plan, 100 days action plan, this dedicated freight corridor Delhi-Mumbai, Delhi-Howrah route, we will upgrade it so that 160 kilometer speed trains can be run on that, to be offered to private to run the trains, for which upgradation 13,000 crores will be spent by the government. So far, not a single paisa has been spent on that. So, investment starved. Track capacity is very bad. And anytime, any accident can occur. That is the volatile situation in Indian Railways now. They have got COVID as a boon for them. They have cancelled all the trains. Now only goods trains are run, parcel trains are run. So all the trains are closed. So that is why so now in this situation, allowing without investment, without government investment, no private will invest in railways. Without government investment, track capacity will not improve. So in this situation, so for example, I will tell you, now they have, my friends will deliver on the other aspects. See, they have announced in the task force of the finance ministry has recommended that in its 500 passenger trains before 24-25 will be privatized, given to private. 30% of the goods trains will be given to private. And 750 stations are there. 30% of the stations will be given to private. So this is the position. So because of that, they have now started giving 150 trains, 151 trains to private. They have announced that because it will give us 30,000 crores investment. The actually, what is going to happen? They say 160 kilometer speed train, but what happens? You know, I said they have given the timetable of trains. This, for example, Madras to Bombay, 1,212 kilometers, 23:10 hours. The private train will take 23 hours and 10 minutes. That is 52 kilometers per hour. If it is 160 kilometers per hour, it should go within 7.57 hours. As they say, Tambaram, Kanyakumari, they have given timings. So it will 712 kilometers. It will reach in 9:45 hours. But that means it's only 75 kilometer speed. So no train. When I studied all the trains, I found there is 50 kilometers to 100 kilometers. No more than that. No train is of 160 kilometers. So this is the position. There are 12 clusters All the clusters have this. So if in the same speed trains have to be run, why it should not be by railways? Actually, private trains means higher fare. They can decide their fare. Then the Tejas Express, they decide their fare. People did not they did not occupy the trains. Only 40% of the trains was occupied. 60% to 40% came down. So now, fortunately, the COVID has helped them to cancel the train. But there are no terminals. If a train is allowed, if a train is run, if it has to reach the destination terminal. Reaching the terminal is half an hour, 45 minutes in the signal. So without signal, without terminal, and also private will bring their coaches to India from other countries. But no country has got this broad gauge standards. All the other countries have different gauges. So it has to be manufactured here. Who will manufacture 3,000 coaches in creating an infrastructure here? So all these are problems. But however, if they privatize, even with that, the passengers will be affected. No, there are passenger trains. The concessions are there. Senior citizen concession, patient concession, and pressman concession, the handicapped employees concession, TV, cancer. There are 8.54% of the railways earnings is this. So if higher fares are only higher fares can be profitable to the private operators. Higher fares people will not accept, and they will boycott the trains. But they are trying to introduce they are going to cancel many trains. That is the another aspect I want to drive home. So in this situation, what I feel is, what I want to tell is, unless they are advancing a theory that investments are not coming. That is why we are going for private investment. So that is without improving the capacity of the trains, without expanding the rail network, without protecting the safety and the safety of the trains. No, the very policy of the railway was to give fast, safe, and affordable cost services. Now what happens? All the three has gone. So with this, what I want is, we have to demand for government investment in railways. Second, privatization is not the solution. Privatization with the existing infrastructure will not work, and privatization is not good for our country. They will, in course of time, cancel all the trains because it makes loss. They will cancel all the trains. What happened in Argentina? 47,000 route kilometer was there. 95,000 employees were there. What happened? 95,000 employees were there. It was given to Alstom, private company. What happened? After a course of time, 47 kilometers came down to mere 8,000 kilometers. Employees came down to mere 15,000. This will happen to Indian Railways, destabilizing Indian Railways, and that will also affect GDP, and we know foreign direct investment will come without developing the infrastructure. Thank you.